Listen, one of the challenges I'm finding is after switching to decaf iced coffee is not readily available. Not as much as normal iced coffee or cold brew. Dunkin' Donuts has it sometimes. I mean, they should have it pretty consistently. Starbucks does it all wrong. They have an espresso that they'll make you a decaf espresso and kind of finagle an iced coffee out of it, but it's not standard, so things are becoming difficult. My idea is to open our own iced coffee place. No, not a coffee shop. Coffee shop means you're selling hot coffee, you're selling scones, all kinds of crap. An iced coffee shop. You see what I'm saying? You only go in for iced coffee. What do you mean? You don't see how that's a great idea. Steve Weiner here from GetRubix.com. And today we have another podcast episode. And I was fortunate enough to be joined by Ugur, who is another amazing MVP resource, has great community tools he's written. If you don't follow him, I'll put the links below so you do, because you have to be following him. There's some amazing stuff there. And he reached out to me and wanted to chat about Ignite, since we're both going to be there and we're excited about all the sessions. So we do this little like Microsoft pre-Ignite conversation, kind of just talk about what we're excited about. And we're going to make some session recommendations for you to follow, because it is free digitally for most of the sessions. So enjoy the conversation. I think an iced coffee shop would be very popular. If for nothing else, then I could get my decaf iced coffee all the time on demand.
Hello, test. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Intune, Ignite, Microsoft. I'm Ugur, cloud engineer at Glückania, which is a MSP in Germany. And also I'm a Intune MVP like you.
I don't know about me. I think I got let in by accident. Thanks for being on for us to talk. I know it's for me, I'm excited. It's my first time attending Ignite as an MVP. So that's been kind of weird, but also my first time back at Ignite since 2019.
It's also the first time for me. I mean, it's first time for me to go there in person. Okay. And I'm really excited about the topic, the sessions, and the people that will attend there.
Should be good. Also, it's always good. I at MMS, I met some of the other MVPs, and it's always good to meet in person. Everyone you talk to online, it is really weird though. Height is the thing that'll throw you off the most. Like, I'm very short, but like I met Yannick, and Yannick is about 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I was like, so
he is very tall. Yeah,
it's fun. And you get to go to Chicago, which is apparently not very pleasant because it's cold and dangerous, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've prepared myself with with my jacket, and I'm ready actually for the winter. But I'm not sure if I ever will see that much of Chicago actually, because there's so much to do in Ignite. Yeah. There are after parties, evenings. There are a lot of things to attend.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting things at this one. I was looking at the sessions, for me, copilot and AI conversations. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of that. And I won't say I'm not super interested. To me, it doesn't feel practical for my work at the moment. Just because I could barely get customers off of domain join, and then they want to talk to a robot. It's like you have a lot of steps in between.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you have to configure your Intune first before thinking about talking with Copilot and so on. Yeah. There's a lot of focus on Copilot, on all the different topics, not only Intune, but also the Entra ID, security stack, the Azure stack, right? So there's a lot of things happening on Copilot.
Well, that is true. So I guess what topics, I mean, obviously, we're both Intune MVPs, so Intune is there, but we don't just work in Intune. So what are some of the topics you're going to be most interested in going to see out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've checked the session catalog yesterday evening before going to bed, and I've just used the search functionality on the catalog and search for Intune. Found about, I guess it was 30 sessions in total. Yeah. There were theater sessions, labs, breakout sessions. All sound very interesting, but I found most of them that didn't only have their focus on Intune, but there was a lot of Windows 365, AVD. So VDI is a very important topic this year in Intune, Ignite. There's a lot of things that happen with real-time data logging or monitoring in Intune. And that always involves Azure or Log Analytics, for example. So there's a lot of happening there. So copilot, obviously, and Entra ID is the things that I found most interesting for myself.
100%. So yeah, let me dive into a few of these. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, what I want to pull up here. So what I was kind of interested in, the first thing was the transform end user computing experiences with Windows 365 and Intune. And you mentioned it before, so I'm very excited about Windows 365. But yeah, I like the idea of it as a holistic vision, because that's always a conversation I have, with VDI resources and people who use even Azure Virtual Desktop. It's like, I think Windows 365 is kind of still a little bit of a secret in the Microsoft community.
It is, yeah. It is. What I'm seeing is people are actually questioning when do I use a AVD? When do I use a Windows 365? Right. The greatest thing about Windows 365 for me is I can open the Windows app on my iPad Pro, for example, and just start working on my virtual work device. Right. So that's the real beauty behind it. That's my use case, and that's something that I'm also telling the customers that I'm consulting at. Windows 365 is really, really great. You can use it on all devices. For example, if you have a Samsung device, for example, just plug the HDMI cable in to your monitor, and then you get your big screen, right? Yeah. Bluetooth, keyboard, a mouse, and you're ready to work.
I think that's great. And for me, my joke was, because I took it to a conference, I take way too much equipment. I set up, in the last time I set up, I got my laptop, I have a second screen, I set up a mic and a camera, I did some recording. I said, they probably think I'm running my OnlyFans from this hotel room. But I generally want to leave my bigger setup in the hotel, and I walk around with the iPad. I've never been a tablet person. I find them fairly useless. But my joke is with Windows 365, it made my iPad, I could do something on it, because with the keyboard, I could actually work in Windows. So
yes, absolutely.
And I've implemented it so many times for customers where it was such an easy button of, we have to deploy all these machines very quickly. It's like,
yes,
you're not going to get faster than that.
Yeah, and there are two things to it, right? So if you want to use Windows 365 in your environment, you do have to set up that all in Intune. So basically, you get the settings in Intune improves, right? You're looking into conditional access and compliance policies, for example, and then you can run the patch management with Intune on your Windows 365. So that's a really, really great use case to get people started with Intune, even with the better integration to Windows 365.
That's true.
So it's a win-win.
It is. It's a good catalyst for that, for sure. So I'm interested in that. The one session, of course, I think most of the MVPs are going to attend. So Lior and Rob York, they're going to be talking about, so it's definitely, it says AI and next-gen cloud PCs, but, I think there's going to be, some really awesome non-AI stuff in there as well. I think it's going to be, I'm very excited about this because I really want to hear about things that make cloud native managed Windows devices better.
I think it's important to remember why this Ignite takes place, because the important thing here is it sets a tone for the next year, right? So Microsoft is already investing a lot in Windows 365 and Intune Suite, for example, and all the features. So that they will keep on delivering on that features in the next year. And Ignite is just showing, hey guys, everyone that's attending online or in person, we are keep on delivering this in the next year. And for my case, what I did was to really try to not go to any session that involves any AI things.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm really transparent here, because I don't see I mean, in the real world, most people don't care about copilot and AI. Some do for security people, but people like us with Intune, we more care about, for example, compliance things, real-time monitoring, reporting, and those things. So that's the most interesting part there. Yeah. Also the main goal that I see here is that people don't really want to buy a third-party tool for their use cases. Remote help, for example, right? There are a lot of support tools out there. Yes. I'm not naming any one of them, but there's a lot, right? Yeah, we all know them. So what they did is basically they built up a competition inside Intune itself with a native integration, which is great from my perspective. And I see a lot of people liking that more because you have everything in Intune. It's way better manageable, and it's easier for people that already work with Intune to adapt those new features or to changes to those features than going to a second or third admin portal, right? And try to manage it there. So it's easier for most of the people that I'm working with to have everything in Intune.
So yeah, Lior and Rob, we're going to be there. We're looking forward to that session. The other thing I had was there's a dedicated session on Windows 365. It was and it's overall endpoint strategy, and I thought that was interesting. I kind of want to hear more about Windows 365's future.
Yeah.
In terms of that kind of thing. I know one thing that the biggest difference is, and they have shared device. You could do like shared frontline. They have the frontline SKU now.
Frontline.
So I'd like to see where that's going, and hopefully open it up to more type of thing, because I think that'll help folks transition over.
Just to mention it here, I mean, the Ignite is already sold out, I guess, 1 month ago.
Yes.
But everyone that's listening, right, is able to register online and to attend online. There are sessions that are only available for people that are attending in person, like for example the labs, which makes sense, right? But the session by Lior is also available to watch online.
So it's nice that they do that, because I think there's so many good things that come out of it. And then if you don't like the cold, you can watch it from, wear a bathrobe, have a cup of hot cocoa, and watch it in your house, and you'll be comfortable.
The things that I will attend as a lab proctor, actually, at one lab called Improve Your Organization Security Posture with Microsoft Intune and Microsoft Entra. So that will be very interesting. I guess I'm also joined by Somesh and Thiago, also fellow Intune MVPs.
Okay.
Yeah, so everyone that's there, right? So make sure to attend the lab. It's by Anton, I guess, who's a software engineer in the Intune team, and it will be a great lab. I was able to test around and play around with the lab, and it's actually really interesting to see what Microsoft thinks about these security posture and Intune and Entra ID.
That is interesting, because there's always the Microsoft way and the products, and then there's the real world.
Exactly.
But that sounds like a perfect. That sounds like a good lab. When is the lab?
It's on Tuesday at 4 p.m. and on Thursday at I think it was 8:30 a.m. Yeah, it's only available offline, of course, but
sure. Pull it up here. Improve your organization security posture with Intune and Entra. Yeah, this is going to be very powerful, because the zero trust story is always a good story.
It will be great, yeah. So also to see that you mentioned it before, right? So the realistic part and the theoretical part, it's aligning. So Microsoft vision and that what you see in the real world is actually aligning step by step. That's my impression, for example. And this lab is basically building on top of that alignment. It's really realistic, but it's also a zero trust focus on it, right?
Well, that's what it is. It's not a we can go into a whole. I mean, we could talk for hours about it, but I think that's the thing, right? Zero trust isn't a product; it's the idea to which you build your tools for it.
It is.
I guess just to pivot for a second, I'm gonna pull up the Entra ID sessions. So with Entra ID, the things I'm really excited about. So I'm definitely interested in anything related to passwordless, because I want to see the practical application of that. Because I think a lot of organizations think they are further away than they might be. So anything with that, I think, is going to be powerful. There's a theater session on Tuesday. Bring passkey into your passwordless journey. That one won't be recorded. The one that will be recorded is this one on Wednesday, securing access for your workforce. It's all about Entra Suite, and that'll be recorded. I recommend that's a good one to check out, especially if you're not familiar with Entra Suite, right? I think it's going to be that's going to be a powerful session. What am I missing? Did you have anything else with Entra ID?
Not on Entra ID, but on Intune. I'm not sure. So the session is called, let me see, Take Action with Real-Time Data and Insights in Microsoft Intune. So we are obviously, as Intune MVPs, we are like in a lot of calls with the product groups, right? And I'm not sure what's the session will be about in the final, because there's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of having more data first in Intune, but also to have them in real time. There's device query, for example, right, where you can collect data from the device when it's online and connect it with the internet, basically. But there's a lot of happening with real-time data and reporting in Intune, which is it was a huge gap. Let's say it that way.
Take action with real time. Okay, this is actually during my session. It's a theater session. It's like mine. It's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Will not be recorded. Okay.
There's one that fits perfect. It's called One Goal, Many Roles, Microsoft Security Copilot Use Cases for All. Okay. And I think what you mentioned here is really that what use cases do you have and how many SCUs do you need to achieve that goal, right?
That's
and
okay. Well, I will show up to that one. And there's so much, right? So like Ugur mentioned, if you if you're not attending in person, definitely still register, make your schedule, because you get to see all this, and it's free. It's free to register and free to watch. I mean, that's a tremendous, value right there. Cool. And then in between, I know there's going to be, so if people want to come say hi I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people and MVPs. I'm going to be bouncing through a few different things. But the main, I forget what they call it. Is it the neighborhood? They call it. It's like the Intune or Endpoint Manager booth.
Yeah, the expert booths.
The expert booths. Yeah. So we'll be hanging around there and with the Intune folks, and really I'm looking forward to meet everyone. It's going to be such a great time. A lot of MVPs are going to be there, and I mean we're absolutely looking forward to it. Cool. Anything else you want to add for everybody?
I guess not. I mean, I can just repeat what Steve said. Just say hello, come to us, and if you have questions, I guess everybody has questions, right? We do also. Just let's talk, right? And that's the main reason why we're there at the expert booths.
Thanks so much for doing this. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, I will see you in Chicago.
Yeah, see you there.
Take care.
Bye-bye.